Kai and Tan Songyun, two household names forever linked in fan whispers, appeared together in a frame so intimate, so synchronized, it was hard to believe it was mere coincidence. The camera captured every detail, every glance, every tiny gesture that seemed to speak louder than words. The world paused, and the internet exploded. The car came to a stop, the door opened, and Kai stepped out first. He was wearing a suit in an elegant yet striking color scheme. Tan Songyun followed shortly after, and that's when everyone's eyes widened. The colors of their outfits were almost identical. Not just matching, not just a seasonal trend, but truly like two pieces of a puzzle designed to complement each other. Fashion observers reacted immediately. This wasn't a coincidence. This was a statement. Without needing to touch each other excessively, the two walked side by side at the same rhythm. There was a chemistry that couldn't be faked. The way Kai turned slightly to make sure Tan Songyun was okay. The way Tan Songyun smiled faintly, as if aware that the world was watching her every step. Within minutes, a short clip of their arrival spread across social media platforms. Hashtags for their names skyrocketed, sparking an unstoppable global discussion. Was this a confirmation? Was this a silent confession? For longtime fans, this moment felt like the climax of a long, enigmatic story. They'd spent years analyzing small interactions, subtle comments, and seemingly coincidental encounters. But that night, everything felt different. It was too obvious to deny. Even fashion experts weighed in. In the world of fashion, color choices are no small matter. Every detail has meaning. Every combination carries a message. And when two major celebrities show up in nearly identical color palettes at an event of this magnitude, it's not just about style. It's communication. Behind the flashing lights and flashing cameras, there's something deeper than appearances. There's a narrative being constructed subtly, yet powerfully. A narrative that can no longer be hidden. Kai, known for his quiet yet charismatic charm, appeared more relaxed that night. Meanwhile, Tan Songyun exuded a warm, confident aura, as if she were in the right place, with the right people. Their presence at the Gucci show alone was enough to draw attention. But their togetherness, that was the center of everything. Their every move was analyzed, their every expression interpreted. Some fans even noticed a small detail, how their distance remained consistent, not too close but not too far away. A balance that felt more intimate than direct contact. The moment they paused to pose became one of the most talked about moments. There were no overt gestures, no drama. Just two people standing side by side, yet with such a powerful energy that it filled the screen. International media began picking up on the story, calling it one of the most elegant, soft launches of a relationship in modern celebrity history. No press conference, no official statement, just through their presence and visual choices. But behind all the speculation, there was one thing that couldn't be ignored: comfort. Kai and Tan Songyun seemed comfortable with each other. And in the high-pressure world of entertainment, comfort is a rare thing. Did this mean they were actually together? Or was it just a coincidence magnified by the public imagination? The question remains, but one thing is certain. This moment changed the way the world saw them. Gucci may have been the stage, Milan may have been the location, but the story that night unfolded far transcended the world of fashion. It was about two individuals who chose to appear together in a way that was so subtle, yet so profound. And perhaps that is precisely where their power lies. Not in what they said, but in what they showed without a word. As the night ended and the lights began to dim, one thing remained bright in the minds of millions: the image of Kai and Tan Songyun walking side by side, harmonious, poised, and mysterious. A fleeting moment that has now become a small piece of entertainment history, and perhaps the beginning of a new chapter that many had only dared to imagine. But the story didn't quite end when they entered the venue. Inside, the atmosphere grew intense. Several guests were seen whispering to each other, stealing glances, and even surreptitiously glancing at their phones to make sure they didn't miss the moment. Kai and Tan Songyun's presence was no longer just a celebrity presence, it was a phenomenon. As they sat in the front row, the distance between them remained consistent, but their body language spoke for itself. Occasionally, Kai could be seen leaning slightly toward Tan Songyun, as if wanting to say something without drawing attention. Tan Songyun responded with a small, barely perceptible smile, but enough to reassure fans. The fashion show began, but the attention of many was divided. The spotlights on the runway seemed to be eclipsed by the unofficial runway taking place in the audience. Cameras repeatedly captured their expressions, and each snapshot was immediately analyzed online. There was a moment when a model walked in an outfit with a similar color palette to those worn by Kai and Tan Songyun. Many considered this a perfect coincidence, as if the two were indeed part of a larger, pre-planned concept. A synchronization that felt too neat to be accidental. As the show progressed, their small interactions became more and more natural. They weren't forced, they weren't hidden, but they weren't overly exaggerated either. A balance that only further piqued the public's curiosity. Because often, what isn't said resonates louder. Outside the venue, the crowd of fans grew. They waited, hoping to catch a glimpse of the togetherness they'd previously only seen on screen. When the show ended and Kai and Tan Songyun returned together, the atmosphere immediately turned into controlled hysteria. Camera flashes returned incessantly. This time, they walked slightly closer than when they arrived. A small change that might seem insignificant to some, but to fans, it was a precious detail. A development, no matter how small, still mattered. Their expressions also seemed more relaxed, as if the initial pressure had subsided. Kai smiled more often, while Tan Songyun seemed to enjoy the atmosphere with a contagious calm. They took their time, as if aware that every second of the night would be replayed by the world. And when they finally got back into the same car, the door closing softly, leaving the crowd and camera flashes behind, the story only grew more vivid. Because sometimes, it's not what's seen in public that matters most, but what's implied beneath. The night may have ended, but the conversation about them was just beginning. Interestingly, there was no clarification, no denial. The silence from both sides fueled the speculation. In a world accustomed to official statements and swift clarifications, the choice to remain silent felt like a very deliberate strategy, or perhaps a very honest one. And perhaps, in the end, that's what made it all feel so real. Not because of what was said, but because of what those who witnessed it felt. A night in Milan, a car, two people, and a moment, now transformed into a story that will be remembered, discussed, and perhaps slowly unraveled over time.